But when I was in Gainesville, if I was a student, then I had access to all the resources. I literally went back. One of my fraternity brothers, he said, hey, man, you can sleep on my sofa for a couple months. It's not a big deal. And I got back into the resource center. And because of that, they set me up with all the interviews and everything that I needed to do. And I used that to parlay my way down here to Orlando. Worked for Target for about 3 months, completely hated retail. I just wanted to get out of it. And through those same resources, I found a gentleman named Sid Strickland who worked at Hughes Supply. And I went down and interviewed with him, and literally a week later, I'm working at this Fortune 500 company.
Wow.
And that was the start of my career.
So what was it that Sid saw with you that he said, okay, so far you've worked at the Burger King and the Greyhound, you worked at Target, you worked at the rent to own, and now, all right, I like this right here. Come work at this Fortune 500 company.
I was talking to my mom, and she mentioned something to me. She said, Alonzo, look, as long as you're covered by the Lord, and as long as you do everything you can to make your desires be what he desires for you, your desires can't be completely opposite of what his desires are.
Right.
And what you need to be trying to do is you need to be trying to figure out not only what the Lord's will is for you, where the Lord's guiding you. You know, you pray for the Spirit to give you clarity. You pray for the Spirit to give you boldness, and then get out the way. You know, once you've asked, stop taking the steering wheel. Get out of the way. You'll be shocked how God will guide you probably to another Christian, to another believer. And then you guys will connect, and you won't be able to explain it, but it'll happen. That's what I prayed. And lo and behold, it was the next day when I called, and I got a lady named Joanne Pastrana. She was one of the sweetest ladies I ever worked at that company. And she patched me into Sid. And, you know, a couple of years later, I find out Sid's a believer. And
wow.
Sid and and Sid's talking to a guy who just called him up. He was the director of our HR department. And Sid talked to me on the phone for 90 minutes. I mean, he just blew me away. I mean, I was like, he didn't know me. And he gave me all that time. And he said, why don't you come out here tomorrow for an interview? Be there. What time you want me there? And he said, I'll be here at 9. I get in, and we sit down, we talk a little bit more. And he said, they'll give you an opportunity. Next thing I know, I'm in the corporate office, and, you know, and I'm working. And the job was so phenomenal because it was way more than I ever expected it to be. I got a chance to travel for 7.5 years with this job.
Wow.
In the audit department, we traveled. I took a lateral promotion because I really wanted to get into IT. And I was on the road literally 4 or 5 days a week. And I'm in California, I'm in Colorado, I'm in New York, I'm in Virginia. I'm everywhere working for this company because the company was in expansion. For the first time, I could see, you know, kind of how the Lord was guiding me work-wise. It's amazing how, you know, your career's been threaded with the things that he's allowed you to do, the things that he's allowed you to see that also take some of your best attributes.
Right.
And so the traveling part, I never got tired. We could be to work at 7, we could work to 11. It was all good. Let's do it again tomorrow. And on top of that, being on the road. So as a part of that, you know, you meet somebody, and I met her. Now I got to figure out, man, I love this traveling, but I don't want to be away from her. And lo and behold, that has to wind down.
Right.
Because, you know, you want a family, so on and so forth. And so, you know, we got married in 98. So we're going on 25 years. You know, you deal with the ups and the downs of all that. People trying to build a career, so on and so forth. The work thread in there was dependent on Christ, gave me an opportunity, made sure that the desire was what Christ wanted for me as opposed to what I wanted for myself. And as long as you try to keep that focus there and make sure that you do things with integrity, you got to value kingdom over the brand.
Right.
You know, you want to build this personal brand for yourself, but the kingdom's got to be greater than that. You know, his brand should be better than your brand. And as long as you try to keep those things in the forefront so people know who you are and know where you stand, you should be able to navigate those waters effectively.